The radar screens went dark. Waves slammed against the steel hull as the Navy's most advanced warship floated blind in the middle of the ocean. Dozens of engineers tried to fix it, but nothing worked. Then, the Admiral did something no one expected. He called a man everyone had forgotten. In the middle of the Pacific, under a sky painted with bruised clouds, the Navy destroyer USS Halcyon drifted without sight. Its radar, the ship's eyes, had gone dead. Inside the control room, a hum of panic replaced the usual rhythm of beeping monitors. Engineers shouted over one another, hands flying across panels, trying to breathe life back into a silent machine. Commander Reeves slammed his fist on the console. "Reboot the main array again." A young technician shook his head. "Sir, it's looping." Every system restart crashes within 30 seconds. They had power. They had signal. But the radar, the heart of the ship's navigation and defense, refused to respond. The Admiral, Arthur Holden, stood silent near the back. Decades in service had etched patience into his face, but even patience had limits. This was no ordinary malfunction. Every minute blind in open sea meant danger. Enemy subs. Collision. Chaos. "Sir," said Reeves, "we've gone through every manual, every diagnostic. The new AI radar just won't boot." The Admiral's eyes didn't leave the dark radar screen. "What about the legacy module?" The room froze. That old system hadn't been used in years. The new radar AI had replaced it. Faster, smarter, and supposedly flawless. But flawless things break too. Reeves hesitated. "That code's ancient, sir. No one on board even knows how to run it anymore." The Admiral gave a faint smile. "I know someone who does." That night, as the storm gathered on the horizon, a helicopter landed on the ship's deck. Out stepped a thin, grey-haired man, wearing an old Navy jacket faded with time. His name was Chief Petty Officer Daniel Crane, retired 15 years ago. He walked with a limp, a memory of the old days, but his eyes were sharp, scanning the ship like it was an old friend. Reeves whispered to another officer, "That's him. He looks like he belongs in a museum." Crane ignored the whispers. He went straight to the console, placed a trembling hand on the dusty auxiliary panel, and sighed. "You replaced her," he murmured, "and now she's angry." The Admiral smiled faintly. "Just like you said she would be." Inside the control room, Crane asked for quiet. The hum of machinery faded. He listened, not to the machines, but to the silence. "Your problem isn't electrical," he said. "It's emotional." The engineers laughed softly. "Emotional? Machines don't feel." Crane didn't argue. He just pointed to a cable buried behind the new radar module. This connector, the grounding link, it was never designed for AI integration. The old system grounded through the hull. You isolated it for safety, but radar needs to breathe through the metal. Reeves frowned. "That makes no sense." "The schematics." "Schematics," Crane interrupted. "Don't feel the sea like I do." He unscrewed a panel with deliberate care, revealing corroded metal underneath. Salt crystals sparkled like tiny stars. He touched one of the wires. "She's blind because she can't feel the current of her own hull." For the next hour, he worked in silence, hands steady, as waves rolled beneath them. He reconnected wires that had been forgotten since before most of the crew were born. He murmured to the machine as if coaxing an old friend awake. Then, a faint ping. One, then two. The radar screen flickered to life. Dots began appearing across the grid. Islands, vessels, movement. The world returned to sight. The crew erupted in cheers. Reeves stared at the screen, stunned. How? How did you even know that would work? Crane looked at the glowing monitor. "I didn't know," he said softly. "I just remembered what it used to sound like when it worked." Later, under the dim lights of the Admiral's cabin, Holden poured 2 cups of coffee. You saved the ship, Daniel. Crane smiled. No, I just reminded her who she is. Holden's voice grew quieter. You know, they'll write new manuals now. Algorithms will learn from what you did. Crane chuckled. Good, but don't let them forget. Machines only follow code. It's people who feel the rhythm of what's right. He rose slowly, looking out the window at the calm sea. The future still needs the past, Admiral. It just forgets sometimes. As the helicopter lifted him away the next morning, the crew stood on deck, saluting the man who had seen through silence and wire to something no AI could ever replicate, understanding, because wisdom doesn't fade. It just waits for the noise to quiet down, so it can be heard again. And somewhere out there, an old ship and an older man proved that the future still owes something to the past.